Danny Garcia versus David Jose Benavidez Jr. The results are pretty much what I expected. I think I said that Danny might stop him late, but Danny basically went to the body, threw a lot of counters, really good counter punching, good jabs to the body, rights, lead rights to the body. He was just stealing body shots all night long. Definitely deserved the win. Should have been a unanimous decision win, and we got a majority decision. Um, so on to the next for Danny Garcia. Good job from Danny Garcia. Getting a lot of experience being the major key. Beautiful boxing by him. And what can I say? I predicted the win, and so be it. It came to pass. Um, was a Benavidez good fighter, but I mean, just doesn't have uh, the arsenal to really deal with a Danny Garcia. And kudos to him though on still getting it to the decision because I thought Danny would have stopped him, but he didn't. So that's good. Um, on to the next. Jake Paul versus Hasim Rahman Jr. Uh, Jr. Uh, with respect to that being canceled, that Jake Paul would look for any excuse to pull out of that fight. Uh, and I just believe he's happy that he doesn't have to face that dude. Okay. Uh, that was a tremendous step up in competition, in my opinion. And I don't think Jake Paul would have been up to that task. I think Hasim Rahman would have beaten him. So, but the fact that the fight is canceled, um, I believe it's because Hasim Rahman says we're coming in weighing in on the scale at 215 instead of 205, I believe. They moved it to 205. And Rahman's like, you know what, I'm coming in 215. um, and Jake Paul's like, hell no. Why hell no? Well, because he knows, Jake Paul knows, kill Hasim Rahman so that he could have an easy fight against him. Uh, and Hasim Rahman wasn't having that. So ultimately, in the end, uh, Jake Paul is talking all this stuff about deception and stuff, but truth be told, he can't hang with Rasim Rockman. He can't hang with him. He just can't. And they can go on and try and throw all these smoke screens of professionalism and all that bullshit. Mayweather didn't make the weight against Marquez. He wanted to come in healthy. Rasim Ramo probably wasn't planning to make the 200-pound weight. He planned to come in healthy and whoop Jake Paul's ass. And so, honestly speaking, though, I think that it's a good thing that Jake Paul didn't face Hasim Rahman because he was going to get beat. He's going to get beat. Uh, I think that's too high a step up. And of course, any excuse that Jake Paul could find to pull out of that fight, he was going to use. And I'm going to say it. I'm going to straight up say it. He was trying to pull out of that fight. He was trying to find a reason to get out of that fight. And he's got one. So he's out of it. Because your ass was about to be grass, Jake Paul. Hasim Rahman was about to whoop your ass. Okay? That's what would have happened. You would have gotten an ass whoop. So, good for him. He was able to pull out of that situation, you know, um, saying that he too small for Hasim Rahman, have to have an equal playing field. That's the bullshit he would have come with. As you can see, Hasim Rahman, much bigger guy. Um, and he want to go down the professional route and professionalism. Bullshit, I call that. You supposed to have been whooping this guy's ass easy. And he came in, I think 230 something. The time you whooped this guy's ass easy. So if you really could have whooped his ass easy, then he doesn't need to be 200 pounds. He don't need to be 200 pounds. Huh? He's a heavyweight. He's a bridgerweight. So what are you talking about? So I knew. I don't know if I ever said it on here, but I said it somewhere. I said, look, watch out now. Watch out now. Look to see this fight get canceled. This fight not going. This fight not going to actual fight. True to form. True to form. He bitched out. Jake Paul bitched out. I'm gonna say it straight. That's a straight ass whooping he was about to get. He was about to get his ass whooped. And he bitched out. I'm gonna say it straight. Bitched out. He bitched out. He don't want to face no real professional boxer. He was just putting up a front. Hasim Rahman Jr. can switch hit. He can fight southpaw orthodox. We know that boy can fight. Okay? And Jake Paul bitched out. He bitched out. So, at the end of the day, you can say what you want. He wasn't going to fuck with Hasim Rahman. That was just fucking clout. He never planned on facing Hasim Rahman. Never planned on it. This bitch was using that to play another game. He a bitch. Just Case said he didn't pay enough to dive. No, motherfucker. There was nothing to do with diving. This was not going to be no diving. I told y'all this. I told y'all this was no diving. There had no diving in this. Y'all don't understand. Jake Paul is 0. His opponents is 0, 1, and 0. He has not faced a boxer. You gonna go face opponents with a collective opposition of 0, 1, and 0. And you're going to step up to the plate and face a guy whose collective opponent opposition wins and losses and draws is 73, 115, and 12. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. He wasn't beating shit. We all know Hasim Rahman was going to whoop his ass. Whoop his ass. He was about to get an ass whooping. And he knows this. He knows this. You understand? And he tried to turn it on Hasim Rahman. Fuck out of here. If you real serious about that fight, if you really wanted that work, you'd have taken that 215. You'd have taken that 215. Motherfucker knew. Motherfucker knew. Motherfucker knew. This is a different fight. It's trying to drain Hasim Rahman. Hasim Rahman and his father knew this. If this fight had played out, they would have gone to the scales. 215, he could have fined them all their money and then whooped his motherfucking ass. Because they wasn't getting paid nothing anyway. He was about to get smoked. Fuck out of here, Jake Paul. So, this motherfucker is full of shit. Okay? Everybody praising the motherfucker for stepping up to the table. I wanted to see if he would have stepped in. And I want to see what would have happened after he got his ass whooped. Because he was about to get his ass whooped. There ain't no way that motherfucker can handle a Hasim Rahman. No way. What experience? What in-ring experience? What pro experience he got? Got nothing. We all know this. I knew this. Sean Sattel knew Hasim Rahman was going to whoop his ass. Anybody in the business knew this was gearing up for an ass whooping. And yeah, I expected Hasim Rahman not to make the weight. He gonna come in comfortable. Okay? He was gonna come in comfortable. Because he's too big. He's too big for Jake Paul. And Jake Paul knows that. Look at Hasim Rahman. You look at them stand side by side with each other. Speed don't mean shit if you got a guy that's much bigger than you. And Hasim Rahman is much bigger than Jake Paul. He'd have whooped that ass. Way more experience. Way too much amateur background. Everything. So, they say that it's Jake Paul's team that Hasim Rahman and they you know, the fight was canceled because of Hasim Rahman and his team, possibly. But at the end of the day, Jake Paul knows that boy was gonna whoop his ass. He was counting on draining him. That's it. He's gonna whoop his ass. He was gonna get an ass whooping. But after you get the ass whooping, you know what I would have done? After you get your ass whooped, even if you get knocked out, Jake Paul, I'd have respected your ass because you stepped up in a big. That would have been a big, big, mega step up. Folks don't do this shit in boxing. That would have been a huge step up. I'd have had so much respect for it. Even if you got your ass torn up, I'd have had respect for you. I have no fucking respect for you. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. You was right. You ain't the face of boxing. You was the ass of boxing. Fuck out of here, Jake Paul. You a joke. Tommy Fury ducked your ass. But you just ducked. You just ducked Hasim Rahman Jr. And that's the way I'm going to stand on that. You can't be talking about other people ducking and then your ass going to duck this dude. And this dude legit. He may not have a name in boxing, but he's legit. If you had stepped up to the plate and faced this motherfucker, even if you had lost, man, I'd have so much respect for you. And especially if you could have gone the distance with his ass, I'd have had a lot of extra respect for you. Because you depended on his conditioning. You was dependent on his conditioning to fail. You understand what I'm saying? For him to tire out. You was dependent on him to be drained. That's what you was counting on. You wasn't trying to have a fair fight. Now that he is playing you, you can't take that shit. He was playing you because he knew he couldn't make that way. So he was going to come in, find me whatever, and I'll whoop your ass. That's what he was going to do. He was going to whoop your ass. It's all good, though. It's all good. It's all good. And we know what Jake Paul is, y'all. We know what Jake Paul is. He a clout chaser. He a joke. He a joke. He can't spin this on Hasim Rahman. He can't spin it on Hasim Rahman. You can't put this on him. He been training his ass off too. You can't put it on him. You could have fined his ass for the 15 pounds overweight. You could have fined his ass. That's what you could have done. So, at the end of the day, I just wanted to say that. Shout out to Danny Garcia. Shout out to everybody, in the boxing community. We know what it is with Jake Paul. He ain't about to step up and face no motherfucking boxer out here with that kind of amateur background and with those wins. I don't even see him stepping up to the plate and facing a boxer with 10 amateur wins or 10 amateur fights. Because you haven't faced anybody in boxing. You have to face pro boxers. I don't give a fuck if they was losing everything, if they was losing all their fucking fights. You got to get experience in that ring. Every boxer in the pro circuit brings something to the table. You haven't faced nobody. Tyron Woodley used to play around with boxing, but he never had a pro fight. He never even faced a pro boxer besides you. You know what I mean? You're not ready for that. You was never ready for Hasim Rahman. Never. Never. That was a fight you was going to lose. Period. If you won that fight, man, we could just say, fuck the amateur program. Fuck just going into the pros and building up from debutante to so I just need to pay some trainers and get in the ring, work my ass off and beat. You could never, Jake Paul, you would never beat Hasim Rahman. Never. 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 I can say this with authority. Your ass was never going to beat him. It was just kryptonite. He was bigger than you. He's longer than you. He can box better than you. He got an amateur program. He fought combined. Okay? His opponents combined have 75 wins, 115 losses, and 12 draws. Motherfucker, you can't fuck with Hasim Rahman. And we all knew this. What I wanted to know was, even if you lost that fight, how you lose it may be important as well. But even if you would have lost that fight, this is what would have happened. We would have watched to see if you would have continued boxing if you were serious about the sport, if you're about being a real fighter, a real boxer, and then start beating ass because you stepped up to a level that was above any level ever. And once you didn't break under that, we wanted to see what you would have done next with your career. That's what I wanted to know. I wanted to know if you was really serious about it. But you just fucking with the sport, man. You ain't serious about the sport. You're not serious about this fucking sport. You a joke, man. All that training your ass off, all this stuff, talking about you want to step up and do what no other boxer's ever done. Your whole team was advising you not to go through with this fight. Your whole team is like, this ain't making no fucking sense. Okay? You counted on this guy being dehydrated. You counted on him fading late. That's what you counted on. You was not counting on skill for skill. You wasn't counting on his education, his knowledge in boxing, his experience. You wasn't counting on that shit. So fuck you, Jake Paul. You a waste of fucking time. You waste. I like you for your promotion. I like you. I like how cocky you are. I like your swag. What I don't like and what I don't appreciate is when you start to share bullshit on people now. Tommy Fury ducked your ass. No doubt about it. Okay? He ducked you. But now you playing the duck, duck, goose game just like everybody else. You's a fucking joke just like everybody else. Right? That's what I'm pissed about. I'm going to say it again. In boxing, you don't need to be fucking Floyd Mayweather. You don't have to win all your fights. You can be about it. You can step up to the fucking plate and do what you're supposed to do. You still can get respect even if you lose. Because we want to see if you really serious about fucking boxing. And what I'm learning is, you're not. As a fan, you're not serious about boxing. If this motherfucker want to get an extra 15 pounds on you, because that's what he was going to do. He was going to try and get an extra 15 pounds on you. And then rehydrate back, stay at the 15 pounds midday, and probably rehydrate up maybe 2-3 more pounds, right? He wasn't going to be no 230 or none of that. But what he wanted to do is make sure he didn't get sucked down. Come in the ring, maybe 220, 218, 215, 216, whatever. You was worried that he gonna have his speed, his quickness, all that stuff. And he bigger than you. Because he is bigger than you. That's what you was worried about. Right? He's not faster than you. You would have been the quicker guy in there. But you worried that this dude is really sharpening up his tools. So you calculated and you said, nah, I don't want to get my ass whooped by this guy. Or the possibility that my ass could get whooped by this guy. You're so confident about beating him, but then all of a sudden you ain't confident about beating him anymore. Because he ain't coming down to 200. Even though he gonna balloon. If he did make it down to 200, he would have come back up to 215, 216. A fight night, he'd be 218, 220. He was gonna be that anyway. But because you can't suck him down, all of a sudden it's off. So what are you telling us? You telling us straight up that all you wanted to do was suck this guy down. You telling us straight up you can't have no fight unless you suck a guy down. But here's my thing. So you was full of shit. So you talking about deception? What the fuck you talking about? You full of shit. So here's the thing. Go on and do your side shows, because we know you never going to step up to the plate and face a real boxer. You never going to face Mike Tyson. Fuck out of here with that shit. You're not facing Mike Tyson. You can't. Mike Tyson has how many pro fights? 50-something pro fights. Okay? Was you gonna fight Mike Tyson in an exhibition? Because it ain't gonna be a pro fight. It's sure as fuck ain't gonna be no pro fight. It's gonna be an exhibition. Mike Tyson is a heavyweight, motherfucker. A heavyweight. So if you can't even handle Hasim Rahman, how the fuck you gonna handle Mike Tyson? Mike Tyson's a heavyweight, motherfucker. And a vicious, aggressive heavyweight. And ain't no way in fucking hell you can handle Mike Tyson. I don't care if he's 50-something years old. You can't handle him. So let's get this straight. Let's get this straight. Okay? One, if you're gonna do your sideshow shit, do your sideshow shit. Okay? But I don't want to hear you talking about you gonna face any boxer. The WBC set up for you to be one of those top 15 ranked WBC fighters. They was willing to rank your ass if you had faced Hasim Rahman, because everybody knew this is something historic. And even if you didn't succeed, even if you did not win against Hasim Rahman, it was going to be historic. Because nobody does this shit. Nobody. You would have been the first person to ever do shit like this on that level. But that was something I was intrigued in watching, and very interested in watching. Very interested in watching. That shit would have been something I would actually have watched. Okay? Because but now we know for a fact. Monkeys know which tree to climb, and we already know what it would have been. We already know. What don't need to be said don't need to be said. We know. Jake Paul knows Hasim Rahman will whoop his ass. Whoop his ass. Probably knock him out. Because he clearly is acknowledging, very clearly, and cancel a fight because this dude he ain't nowhere near 205 pounds. So that's the whole point. It's all about weight at the end of the day. So where some people out here going to say, oh, well, Hasim Rahman was unprofessional and blah, 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 blah. I'm never going to say that. I'm going to say Jake Paul is a bitch. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to straight up say it to his face. He a bitch. You a bitch. You waste everybody's time. As far as I'm concerned, he pulled out of the fight. He didn't want that smoke. So that's what it is. And you wasted all of our time, everybody's time. You trying to palm this off on Hasim Rahman. We don't buy that shit. You knew you was gonna get fucked up and bad. Okay? So we could save that for later. We could save all of this bullshit. Don't really care. I knew this was possible. That this fighter would pull out. And he got a reason to pull out, so he's pulling out. Okay? I'm going to catch y'all guys later. I am what you need. And it's cool, man. Cool runnings. We have some developments going on in some other fights. But congratulations to Danny Garcia on getting the win. Again, tried true pro boxer. Not some clown posturing like he want to get into the pro circuit and really want to do some pro fights. But he just posturing. He's just a sideshow. No, this guy is tried and true when it comes to boxing. I don't want to hear fucking shit out of Jake Paul ever. Because this motherfucker, he just on sideshow shit. He want to do Conor McGregor. He want to do a whole set of sideshow shit. He don't really want to do no pro fights with no pro boxing. He full of shit. Okay? He would take a Tommy Fury because Tommy Fury ain't got no amateur background. You know what I mean? Now learning boxing, he gonna mess with him because Tommy Fury's, he's on television shows and that kind of bullshit. So he would like to have a Tommy Fury fight. Tommy Fury's a smaller guy than him, and even. On top of that. So he on that kind of shit. He not really into boxing. Alright? This motherfucker is not really into boxing. If you knew you wasn't gonna face Hashim Rahman, why are you sending us on this you carrying us for this ride? Okay? If you're not serious about this dude, why the fuck did you bring him up? No, don't get me wrong. He got a whole set of followers and a whole set of people now. But everybody gonna be watching you strange. Like 205. They raised it to 205. That's cool. But you know that's not the reason why you ain't facing him. But you're gonna use that as a front. For sure. You're gonna say you're unprofessional and all of that. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. You wanted a reason to get out of that fucking fight. And you've gotten out of the fight. So let's call a spade what it is. And a lot of people actually believe you could beat that dude. That's too many levels for him. I knew this a long time, man. I knew this a long time. I'm gonna catch you guys later. I'm what you need. Peace.